on, guys? My name is Brandon. Welcome to Audio Addiction, where you can find latest album reviews. You can find our band reviews, and you can find live coverage of the concerts that we get. I'm currently working on some live set stuff that will be going out probably early next week. Got a ton of album reviews that I'll be doing. Like I said, Crystal Lake's coming up. I'm doing the new Neurosis record and the August Burns Red EP as well. So definitely be on the lookout for that. I'm going to be trying to post a little bit more, and then just up and coming stuff that I'm really stoked on. But if you haven't checked out the channel in a minute, please go check out some older videos. Would really appreciate that immensely. But tonight we're going to be talking about Sentinels' newest record, Unsound Recollections. So, as many of you know, I've had them on the channel before, and if you haven't already, check out our super old interview. I'm hoping to do one really soon, guys. Let's do a new one. But if you haven't heard about this band, they're a band from New Jersey, around my area, which is totally cool. They just recently signed with Stay Sick Records, which is awesome, and they're currently doing a tour for their newest album, Unsound Recollections, which I'm about to review to you. I got my pre-order early, so I had to get a review out as soon as I could for this record. Definitely owe that a lot to this band, and I wanted to obviously show my love and support to them, which you should definitely go do. But we're gonna go into all the tracks. I'm gonna give you my thoughts and opinions on it, go through some pros and cons, and then fish it out with an overall rating. So the first track is called Elysium. This one's one of my favorites. I dig the sort of ominous intro of the track, and then it just hits you. It just comes in right away, with those sort of dissonant tonalities, but it just has this beautiful technicality to it. This is what I've always appreciated about this band. I've listened to Idols, Worlds Divide. I really feel like this band just progresses super well, and for them to kind of take a little bit of a period of time to write this record, it's cool to see just the way that they're able to kind of still keep their sort of sound that makes them unique. And I just love the sort of rhythmic patterns, the tightness that they're able to come up with in these songs are just unbelievable. I think one of my favorite parts is around the 2 minutes and 30-second mark to around the 2 minutes and 50-second mark. I just think it is super tight. I love the rhythmic patterns of the songs and just the way that it shifts throughout the entire song. I think it's really awesome. I think it's a great way to start off that record, and it's just that ending of this track is phenomenal. Definitely one of those ones to keep an eye out for if you haven't listened to it already. So we're going to move into track number 2, which is Hollow. This one has more of a progressive, gentler sort of feel to it. I like that the track really kind of plays off of some really awesome polyrhythms. I think that just the way that Chris and Thomas interact with not only Dave and Danny as well, I think that it is really solid. This one has some really cool, awesome groove pockets mixed throughout the song. One in particular is around the sort of minute mark. I think that is really solid, and I forget how long it goes throughout the song, but it's definitely one of those ones that I picked up instantaneously. I like that there's a little guitar solo fit in there around the 2 minutes and 55-second mark, all the way to around the 3 minutes and 12-second mark. It's really nice to hear kind of lead parts in sort of more progressively based songs, and I think that the way that they were able to arrange the chording of it, I think works really well as well, and it really kind of leads into an awesome breakdown. I think this one is definitely an underrated track off the record that you should go give a listen to. So we're gonna move into track number 3, which is Deja Vu. This is one of the singles that they had released with them signing to Stay Sick, and is one of my favorites. I think this one is probably one of my top tracks off this record so far. I've listened to it a good amount of times now, and I every time we come back to this one, I love it. I think that the way that they are able to just add this sort of groove to it, that gives me that sort of like old school era vibes. I'd say like kind of augment, sort of feelings there as well. I think Dave, their drummer, goes super ham on this track. I would say even some of the more latter tracks off this record as well, he just really puts in that work, and you can hear it. Anything from, sort of blast beats to some really cool rhythmic patterns that he does. I think it is just phenomenal how he's able to transition between those two. I know I couldn't do it, so I gotta show props there. And I like that this one kind of finds a great way of incorporating heavy and melodicness to this song and in this band in particular. I think that they've really strived to hit that sort of dissonant undertone with a lot of their music, and I feel like this one, while it does have some more dissonant elements to it, I feel like this one is a little bit more melodic, and obviously plays off of their heavy sort of vibes. But I like that they took a little bit more of a chance on this one. I feel like this one's a little bit more softer in comparison to a lot of the other tracks off the record, but I think it is by far one of the best arranged tracks off the record, and that's why I feel like it's one of my favorites. So we're gonna move into track number 4, which is Neurosis. This one is another single, the first single that they have released in regards to their new record, which at the time they hadn't announced, but it's really cool. I did actually a reaction to the music video, because one of the TVs that they're filming with is one of the TVs I let them borrow. Just a little side note there, but really cool job on this one. I think I talked a lot, particularly in that song. It was a while ago, but every time I go back and listen to it, and kind of having my own thoughts that I have right in front of me, I think that this one is really cool. I like the vocals a lot. I think Joe does a fantastic job of incorporating a lot of lows, and sort of lower range screams. I think that this one obviously plays off of more of their dissonant elements in terms of their music, and I feel like obviously more of the technicality plays a lot of role into that. I'd say it's one of the more heavier tracks off the record as well, and that ending, I know that I had mentioned in the reaction video, but every time that ending comes in, I love it. Just the rhythmic pattern of that track just grooves. Definitely a solid track, one that you should go give a listen to ASAP. So we're gonna move into track number 5, which is Vicious Cycles. This one is another favorite of mine as well, and there's this really cool part, or this little cool segment in the track that I feel like a lot of people may overlook. So I figured I'd point it out. At the 50-second mark to around the 55-second mark, there's this part where Dave kind of mimics the guitar work with a snare drum. I don't know if that was necessarily intentional or not, but I think it is super sick. I don't really hear that at all. I have not heard that ever from any other band. I'm sure there are bands that do that, more technically proficient bands, but this was the first time that I heard it, and I thought it was really awesome, and I just thought maybe I was going a little crazy, but as I listened to it more and more, I could pick up on more of those sort of rhythmic elements that are incorporated with, like the guitar work, the bass work, things of that nature. This one also includes a lot more sort of ambient elements. There's this one sort of breakdown part that definitely reminds me a lot of Invent Animate, which is definitely a compliment to them. I love that band a lot, and I like that they pulled kind of influence from there. I think all around the track is super insane, as I haven't been stressing to you at all in this entire review. But another thing to point out is Dave goes insane on this track. Another very well-written drum track. I think he is just all over the maps in terms of, the way that he plays drums. I'm not a drummer myself, so I really can't delve into it too much, but just the way that he kind of incorporates his fills, the way that he kind of, integrates different things, the stops, the sort of rhythmic patterns going on. I think it really works. And another really cool point that I love to point out is the guitar riffs in this track are absolutely monstrous. I think the first time that I listened to this track, I had to pick my jaw up from the floor just because of the just insane amount of guitar work going on in this one. Really solid track, technically proficient, but also just a really just heavy, vicious track. No pun intended, but definitely one that you should go give a listen to as well. So we're going to move into track number 6, which is Unsound Recollections, the title track of the record. Obviously keeping up with the sort of blistering pace of this record. Another really heavy, right at the throat sort of track. I think instrumentally, obviously, is very intense. I say that this one obviously has some of the more heavier moments of this record as well, and it grooves super hard. One really cool example is around the 3 minutes and 5 second mark to around the 3 minutes and 23 second mark. Really a cool sort of snippet of this song that I enjoyed a lot, but overall I think they really kind of take a lot of rhythmic elements and make them unique, or add a little sort of stop, or just the pacing of this song really works with what they're trying to achieve. And you can obviously hear that in the way that they go about writing the songs, the way that it just maybe this part is a little bit different from the first part. They maybe add some little like kind of ambient guitar like background pieces, or the bass kind of comes to the forefront. Definitely a solid track nonetheless, and definitely one you should go give a listen to. So we're going to move into the last track, which is 222. I don't know the meaning behind it, but I hope to find out about it. But this one is one of my favorites as well. A relentless track from start to finish, as if you haven't already heard me say that 20 times. But again, another really blistering, heavy track. I like the nice little breakup at around the minutes and 45 second mark to around the 2 minutes and 10 second mark. It's a nice little bridge piece, almost that sort of spoken word thing, but it also allows for the bass to kind of come out a little bit more, and the drumming to kind of take a little bit more of a reprieve in that regard. I appreciate the ambience towards the end of the track, and that ending of this song is primo. It is mint. Definitely go give this one a listen as well. Obviously, a lot of the same adjectives and feelings that I would have described to you on any of the other tracks off this record, but this one I felt like the ambience was a little bit stronger, so it's definitely something that I wanted to point out. So some pros and cons on the record. If I haven't told it already, technically proficient, one of the more technical bands that you'll see on this channel, and for good reason, because they are phenomenal. Heavy, hits like a freaking truck. You'll love it. It also has some really cool dark undertones that I really didn't get to pull on too much. There were some tracks that are a little bit more in that sort of darker undertone. I'd say Elysium, Neurosis. I'd say those two definitely play off of more of the darker undertones, and I would love to hear them kind of do that more in the future. Instrumentally, next level, as I had mentioned, pretty much in every song that I went over. If you're looking for a very technically proficient band that really does a justice to some progressive music, go give these guys a listen. But this record isn't without its cons. I feel like one big con for me is vocal diversity. I like what Joe does. I think he's got some great lows. I think he's got some solid screaming involved, but I would love to hear a little bit more experimentation. I feel like after a while becomes a little bit just monotonous, not in a bad way. It just didn't feel like it feels like there could be more, and I know that Dave does vocals live as well, so maybe he could be incorporated in future music. But vocally, I feel like it's a little bit one-noted, and I would love to hear more of an expansion upon screams, or maybe I know cleans may not be in the sort of, possibility or realm of doing, but if that were to happen, that would be awesome too. I just feel like there's just should be a little bit more of a switch up vocally, and I think I would have loved it a little bit more. As well as that, I would love to hear a little bit more ambience. I feel like all of the tracks kind of have that hard hitting element. They are all very, involved technically as well. But I would love to hear a little bit more space. I feel like tracks like, in Vicious Cycle, where there's a little bit more of breaks in there. 222, where there's a little bit more ambience. Deja Vu, where there's, a proper amount of ambience and melodicness. I would love to hear them expand upon that more, and obviously incorporate some, technical songs as well. But I think in those moments of break are some of the best moments on the record, and I think it further accentuates the sort of technical prowess of the band when they're able to kind of take more of a backseat role in a track. So those were kind of my critiques on the record, but overall, my rating for Sentinels Unsound Recollections, I'm going to be giving it a 9.5 out of 10. Definitely one you should go give a listen to if you're into just technically progressive bands like Periphery, Meshuggah, The Contortionist, especially older Contortionist stuff, The Parallel, just a ton of bands that have that sort of prowess to them. I think you'll like this band a lot. Aversion's Crowns. Go give them a listen. Check the links in the description for pre-orders. Go pick it up. Go support them. I say this a lot about every band that I do a review or interview of. Go support your local bands, because they really deserve it. They work hard. They put a lot of time and effort into putting out a record, so you should go show that same love and support. And if you can't go pre-order it, please go check them out at a show. I'm sure they would love for you to be out there and watch them play and do their stuff. And I can speak for seeing Sentinels many times. This is a band to go see live if you haven't already, because they are phenomenal live band. And if you want a band that kind of replicates what they do live to the record, I think you'll definitely find that in their live performance. But let me know in the comments what you think about this record. I'd love to know. It comes out this Friday, so again, go pre-order it or go pick it up at a show. And if you enjoyed my review, please hit that subscribe, hit that thumbs up. It goes a long way. Again, some awesome content to come in the next couple weeks, so definitely be on the lookout for those. And I'm excited to see what you guys think about this record when it comes out. Like I said, my name is Brandon. We hope you got your fix, and we'll be talking with you soon. Deuces. Hey guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Of course, if you enjoy what we do, make sure to go check out the other series we do. We do album reviews, we do band interviews, and we do live videos, so definitely go check that out. Hit that subscribe button. It really helps our channel, helps us grow. Make sure to hit that like button as well. Go follow us on social media. That's all down below. We try to keep that as updated as possible. We also made a new website where we'll be posting photos of upcoming concerts and stuff like that, which you can go check out at audioaddictionmedia.com, and come get your fix with us, guys. Talk to you later. Deuces.